In the last lesson of Chapter 6, we learned about the difference between census surveying and sample surveying. And in this lesson, we're going to be learning about analyzing and expressing data. Being able to analyze and manage data. So this is actually analyzing data part 1. And the learning goals for today is understanding the concept of the pie chart and being able to abstract useful information from the pie chart. Being able to express data through drawing a pie chart. So as you can remember from the first lesson, I believe, the pie chart was one of those examples we saw as different ways to collect and manage data. So here's an introduction to the lesson today. Every year when happy birthday blossoms arrive, we usually share the deliciousness of birthday cake with relatives and friends. So how do you divide the cake into 2 evenly? What about 4 servings, 8 servings? How do you divide it evenly into n parts? So here's a circle. And then if we divide it like this throughout the middle, like the diameter, we'll divide the cake into 2 separate but equal parts. 4 servings, we could just do another perpendicular diameter. Then there's 4 equal servings. And 8 servings, add 4 more strokes. And then for n parts, you just do it and so on. So drawing pie charts. Anton is the head of the sports department of the school union of the school. He wants to know what ball games the students like more so that the student union can organize a game that is popular with students. So he designed a questionnaire and randomly selected 10 students in each class of the school. The survey results are as follows. So Anton is the head of the sports department of the school union and he is trying to come up with a good sport tournament. And then he made up a questionnaire to survey 10 random students from each class of the school, and ask them about their favorite sport, which in the options that they could select, which one is basketball, soccer, volleyball, table tennis, badminton, and F is other. And after collecting all the results, this is the table he got. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. If you were Anton, what competition would you organize? How do you choose? Well, from the last slide right here, we said that the goal of this investigation was to find which sport the student union can organize that is most popular with students. So how do we choose here is find which one of these sports has the most votes, and we can compare all of these different values, and we see that 96 is the largest people number here. And which sport is 96 which sport has 96 people? Table tennis. So if you were Anton, you would organize a table tennis tournament. Therefore, the answer to the question is table tennis. 2. What percentage of the total number of people in this survey are people who like basketball? What percentage of the total number of people in the survey are people who like soccer? What are the percentages of volleyball, table tennis, badminton, and other ball sports? What is the sum of all of the above percentages? So, what is this question asking us for? It's what's the percentage of the total people in this survey are people who like, so we want to find the percentage of basketball, soccer, and volleyball, and in all the other sports. Also, what is the sum of the above percentages? I'll just pick basketball, and you can do the other ones if you'd like. So let's first look at basketball. It is the people who like basketball is the number of people who like basketball out of the total number, adding up all of these values. So first, we're not going to talk about the percentage. We're just going to try to make a fraction. So we know that the numerator has to be 69 because basketball, there is 69 people who want basketball. Then we add all of these up, which is 69 plus 63 plus 27 plus 96 plus 36 plus 9. And then add it up together, you would see that there is and then we add, which is 300 people in total. Then what we do is we try to turn the denominator into 100. Lucky for us, 69 and 300 are both multiples of 3. So we can divide 300 by 3, which we get 100, the denominator we want, and we divide 69 by 3 as well. 69 divided by 3 is equal to 23. So the percentage of basketball is 23%. Same for soccer, volleyball, and all the other sports. Then, what is the sum of all the above percentages? Well, we know that these added together equals one whole. All of these added up together should have a numerator of 100. So the sum of all of these is 100%. Can you express the above results in a pie chart? So here is all the values we have. First, we calculate the percentage of the number of people in each option to the total number of people in the survey. And then, as we can see here, we'll fill in. You need to right now calculate all of these other sports, so I'm waiting. Okay, after you calculate all of these, what we do is we fill them in to all of these spots. And we first is to calculate the percentage of the number of people in each option to the total number of people in the survey, and then fill in the table below. That's what we just did. So the sum of percentages we know is 100. If we add them up, indeed, it is 100. Then what we do is we calculate the center angle of each sector there is in the pie chart. This would be, and I encourage you to do this by yourself. First, use a protractor if you have one, and then create a circle. Then the number of center angles, so how wide the number of degrees a center angle would be 360 degrees times the percentage. So that's the number of center angles. And then you find that. And let me quickly ask you a question. What is the sum of the above number of center angles? Well, you see, if this is 360 degrees times a percentage, it basically means that percentage of 360 degrees. So this all added up together would equal 360 degrees, just like it is with percentages. So then we'll draw each sector in a circle and then mark the percentage. Remember, we have to first have this nice little point right here, the midpoint of the circle, if we're going to successfully draw this pie chart. So now I have this pie chart over here. There is basketball, which is 21%, soccer, volleyball, table tennis, badminton, other. What can you see from the picture? So the conclusion is that the general steps for making a pie chart. First, find the whole, total. 2. Calculate the percentage of each part of the total. 3. Find the degree of the central angle of the sector to which each part corresponds to. And 4. Draw a pie chart. 5. Write the title and name of the chart. Remember, this is very important. You have to know what this pie chart stands for. So here are some of the characteristics of the pie chart. 1. The whole circle represents the whole 1. 2. The sectors represent different parts of the whole. 3. The size of the fan shape reflects the size of each part as a percentage of the total. So now I encourage you to take out your notepad and then jot the characteristics of the pie chart down. Same with the last slide, so this slide right here, and I want you to write down the general steps for making a pie chart. Also, I encourage, if you have any ideas about the pie chart, any thoughts about the pie chart, jot that down as well. Now let's do example 1. The following table is a survey results of the opinions on football of 7th grade boys in a school, and draws a fan-shaped statistical chart based on the results. Please draw the corresponding pie chart. So top here of the table is the opinion. You like it, don't like it, or you don't care about it, and the number of people that selected each answer. Then I want you to draw the corresponding pie chart using the steps you just jotted down. Now go ahead. So in here, let's look at the analysis. According to the steps of the drawing the fan-shaped statistical chart, first find the total number of boys, then find the percentage of the number of boys in each part of the total number, and find the degree of the central angle corresponding to the fan-shaped drawing. Draw the fan-shaped statistical chart according to the degree of the central angle and write it. Then put on the title. So you first have to find out the percentage each part is according to the whole. So 25, let's first do the percent of this together. So the opinion of like would actually be 25 over all of these added together. So 25 plus 15 plus 10, which is 50. So then we need to get the percent. So this is actually the same as 50% because we're going to try to get a denominator of 100, and we'll only get that if we multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2. So 25 times 2 on the numerator side is 50, so the answer is 50%. So the like is 50% of the answers. And then same for don't like, doesn't care. 15 out of 50, that is 3 out of 10, which is 3 out of 10, that is 30%. And doesn't care is 10 out of 50, which would be 20%. And there we have it. Then what we do is we find the degree of the central angle corresponding to the fan-shaped drawing. So this might be written a little bit confusing, but let me explain that. What we do next is we're going to find the degree of each of these sectors that we're going to be drawing. So for like, this is how big and how wide we're going to draw each of the angles for these. So 50%. Well, oh, by the way, so say this is your pie chart, right? The first thing to do is make a nice central point for the radius, just saying. Anyways, what you do is you take this percentage, which is, in this case, I'll write it as 1/2 because 50% is the same thing as 1/2, and then you times that with the total degrees of a circle, 360 degrees, and then you get 180 degrees. So that means that this would actually be worth 180 degrees when drawing the pie chart. For don't like, we do 360 degrees times 3/10. And then if we do that, that is equal to so if we do that, the 3/10 times 360 is equal to 108. So therefore, for don't like, it would be equal to 108 degrees. And for doesn't care, well, we don't need to do that now because we already have the other two. So all we have to do is 360 degrees minus the sum of these. So 100 degrees plus 108 degrees, which is 288 degrees. Then we subtract 360 degrees minus 288 degrees is equal to 72 degrees. So this has 72 degrees. Now we draw. So we measure it out with the protractor. Then here it is. So 50%, 20%, and 30%. The blue part, which is 50%, is likes. 30% of the people who respond doesn't like it, and 20% doesn't care about it. So the conclusion about here is the circle represents the whole in each sector. Remember, this is very important. The circle represents the whole. So I want to say that the whole, you might not see this. The whole circle represents the whole total, and each sector in the circle represents different parts of the whole. So each sector represents different parts of the whole. The pie chart not only reflects the relationship between the proportion of the part in whole, but also reflects the size relationships between the part and another part. The main focus of today was on pie charts, and we learned about drawing a pie chart and representing data with a pie chart. The steps to drawing a pie chart was finding the whole, then calculating the parts per percentages, and finding the degrees of the central angles. After that, we would draw the pie chart according to the information we just collected up before, and then we have to make sure we write clearly the title and name of the chart. And when we represent data, the sum of the parts always equals the whole, and the sum of the central angles of the sector always equals 360 degrees. Also, another thing to remember is that the whole will always be 1, as in one whole. The two skills we learned was understanding the concept of the pie chart and being able to abstract useful information from the pie chart, being able to express data through drawing a pie chart.